so I kind of doubt it. I'm not sure how Brandon plays. This is his first tournament, so we'll find out. Anyway, Habb's team is going to be Tapu Lele, Politoed, Metagross, Crocodile, Xurkitree, and Talonflame going up against a Boldore, a Crobat, a Togedemaru, and a Alolan Ninetales, an Executor, and a Hariyama. So it's a very interesting team from Brandon, not something that we usually see a lot or have seen a lot in VGC so far. There's no Tapus, there's no Ultra Beast, and that'll be a very interesting team. Meanwhile, Habb does have both. I can go ahead and give a little background on Habb's team. I know it was built by Joey Selmer, Modern Gamer, for those that know him. I don't know how many Pokemon players are watching, but the team was modeled after Toller Webb's 2014 national winning team, which had Gardevoir, Politoed, and Metagross. And so basically, since Gardevoir and Tapu Lele are the same typing, it kind of serves the same role, so it's a similar kind of dynamic, and so that should be try to recapture some of that magic from a national winning team. So let's see. I'm gonna get to our players' leads here. Habb is gonna lead with Talonflame and Tapu Lele, whereas Brandon leads with Boldore and Hariyama. So Tapu Lele is going to first off set up the Psychic Terrain, which is going to prevent priority moves from landing on Pokemon that are grounded, which means Talonflame is not protected because it's flying type. And it's also going to boost Tapu Lele's Psychic type attacks by a lot, which Hariyama already probably doesn't appreciate a Psychic, and I doubt it will appreciate one boosted even further. Meanwhile, Talonflame is pretty threatened by the Boldore, which for those that don't know is the second stage of Gigalith's evolution line. So it's, yeah, going to be 4 times weak to a Rock type. Even though that's not a high stage Pokemon, it's definitely threatened. Crocodile, though, coming in instead of the Talonflame, going to go ahead and get that Intimidate off. Going to be very useful against both of these physical attacking Pokemon. We don't see it protecting the Hariyama. It's just going to eat a Psychic and go down in 1 turn. And that is going to be a fainted Hariyama for sure. And we're going to see some damage coming off on Tapu Lele from the Life Orb. Meanwhile, Boldore sets up a Stealth Rock, which is a popular tactic in singles, but we don't see very often in doubles. Though in this case, it does come in handy because the Talonflame will take 50% damage. So in this one case, it looks like it might come in handy. Togedemaru comes in as well. Not going to really feel very good about that Crocodile. And Earthquake is going to be able to hit both of Brandon's Pokemon for super effective damage. Oh, actually, Steven, I think the names are on the wrong side. No worries. Whenever you get a sec. So we actually see a Spiky Shield coming out from the Togedemaru. It's going to protect it from an Earthquake. Tapu Lele is going to protect that. Kind of leads me to believe that Habb will go for an Earthquake here. And we do see the Earthquake. Only Boldore will be affected by it, though. And I'm kind of curious to see how much damage it is. It might have an Eviolite, because it's not a fully evolved Pokemon. But it does just a little less than half. And we see a Rock Slide coming out. That'll be resisted by the Crocodile. And after an Intimidate, probably not going to do much damage at all. Yeah, that looks like, oh man, 13 damage, I think? So, Habb in a very good position. Now he can just do the same thing, but instead of protecting, he can switch in the Talonflame. It will take damage from the Stealth Rocks, but will be immune from the Earthquake. Togedemaru could capitalize on that if it does have something like Sturdy, because it'll be able to live 1 Earthquake, but it'll have 1 HP at that point and not be doing a whole lot. Tapu Lele does come out, and like I imagined, we see Talonflame come instead. It's going to go ahead and take 50% damage from the Stealth Rocks, and Boldore is actually going to switch out for the Crobat, which will not take any damage from an Earthquake. So that's a nice little switch there. But the Togedemaru will take damage. Let's see if it's the Sturdy instead of the Lightning Rod. That'll be pretty much the difference maker here. It does not look like a Togedemaru just goes straight down. It's 4 times super effective. And Habb is going to be up now 4 Pokemon to Brandon's 2. So really kind of in control of this match. Boldore here, not able to do very much to the Crocodile, also afraid of the Earthquake. But at least it's not intimidated anymore. And Crobat, depending on how its moveset, could help. You know, people are really used to seeing Super Fang Crobat supportive from last season, and now, you know, it could, you know, be much more offensive. And we're going to see a Tailwind come out from Talonflame, Earthquake going into just the Boulder because Talonflame and Crobat are both flying types. Does that get the knockout, though? And it does. And so now it's Crobat against the world here, and it's not looking good for Brandon in this game. He's going to have to do some major adjustments. Leech Life coming off, though, onto the Crocodile will be super effective because of the Dark type. So it's going to do about half damage. That's not bad. But the problem here is whether Crobat can knock out 4 Pokemon, especially when Tapu Lele can hit it for super effective psychic damage. It's going to be kind of a problem. Really, I think at this point, Habb can just double in. I don't even think he really needs to switch. Yeah, I think Habb definitely has this game in the bag, and it's going to be on Brandon to try and readjust. But he's in a tough point. Flare Blitz coming out, revealing some information that Brandon can use later. Into the Crobat, that's almost going to get the knockout in and of itself. Talonflame's going to take a lot of recoil, but actually, despite the fact that Crobat is an extremely fast Pokemon, this Crocodile is actually faster, and we're going to go ahead and get to see this Dark Z move from the Crocodile. And I forget what this is called. Yeah, Black Hole Eclipse. Very cool animation. Going to go ahead and shoot a black hole into the sky, suck up the ground, and Crobat with it, and that's definitely going to get the knockout there. So Habb takes game 1 in a commanding 4-0 victory over Brandon. Goes by Sirius, I imagine. I might think that's his Smash name. So that is Habb. Oh yeah, that's right. He's using my DS. So that's me there. And Habb gets that first win in pretty quick fashion, actually, which means Brandon is, you know, you're not going to see the same kind of stall fest that we saw in the last round here. But don't count Brandon down and out. I'm sure there are definitely answers to his team. Habb is also has cut a regional, if you recall us mentioning that on stream. He top cut Utah, and so he's a very good player. You know, a good performance is kind of expected from him. But I think what Brandon's really going to have to focus in is doing something about that Tapu Lele. He does have Crobat as a poison type. Maybe it has a poison type attack that could do some damage to Tapu Lele. Maybe Togedemaru can live a hit and get off some kind of steel type attack. But I think priority 1 is getting rid of that Tapu Lele, because otherwise Hariyama goes down. I don't think that an Executor is going to appreciate a Life Orb Moonblast. Crobat is not going to appreciate a Psychic. Boulder probably, even without the Sandstorm, doesn't get that special defensive boost. Not going to appreciate a powerful attack. So really this becomes a game of knock out the Tapu Lele as fast as possible, and that's how you win. So we're going to go ahead and get into game 2 here. Let's see what both players led, what adjustments were made. Brandon is going to know, well, Habb is going to lead with Metagross and Tapu Lele, so we're going to see a slightly different lead from Habb. And then we're going to see Togedemaru and Crobat from Brandon. So, like I said, that's going to give him some options against the Tapu Lele, which really is his priority. At the same time, Metagross isn't going to be able to do a whole lot of the Togedemaru because Psychic Steel does resist both Psychic and other Steel-type attacks, I believe. But Metagross is going to be able to knock out the Crobat probably with a Zen Headbutt or something. So it's not safe. And yeah, Habb can just protect with his Tapu Lele. The Cross Poison going into Tapu Lele might have done a lot of damage. Togedemaru going for a Poison Jab, both fast Pokemon. But the Zen Headbutt going into Crobat is going to get the knockout. And now with a crit, which to be fair probably didn't matter. But basically what that means is Tapu Lele is going to be a lot harder to get off the field, and that might spell a quick end for Brandon once again. Ninetales is going to come out, though. It doesn't set up the hail, though, so this might be an in-game team, actually, because usually a lot of Ninetales will have that the snow warning, which will bring up the hail. Then you can do things like set up Aurora Veil, get no miss blizzards. At this point, it's going to be a lot harder. And Ninetales will outspeed Tapu Lele because Habb is not Scarf, but it's not going to be easy for it to get the knockout of the Tapu Lele. Togedemaru, Poison Jab, it's physical, so it'll hit on Tapu Lele's weaker side, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. We see the Frost Breath, but that misses. Poison Jab goes into Tapu Lele. How much does this do? Yeah, Togedemaru just is not that strong. Even with the poison, it probably won't make a whole lot of difference. Psychic going out onto the Togedemaru, even though that's resisted. Ooh, almost gets the knockout in and of itself. Let's see what the Metagross does. Meteor Mash into the Ninetales, which is 4 times super effective, gets another one-hit knockout. So now again we're in a position where it's 2 of Brandon's Pokemon against 4 of Habib's, and he is definitely looking like he's in tough straits. And with Hariyama in the back, unless he's got Protect to stall out at least one more turn, try and get another Poison Jab off onto the Tapu Lele, I don't really see a way out for Brandon. Because even then, he's got an almost knocked out Togedemaru, and it's just Hariyama. Even if he does get rid of the Tapu Lele, Metagross can still do a lot of damage with a Zen Headbutt. So I think really Habib is going to take this in a quick set, kind of counterbalance the quick one, or the short one we had before. Talonflame switches in for Tapu Lele. And we're going to see the Poison Jab come out. It is the fastest thing on the field. That's not going to do a whole lot to the Talonflame. Doesn't get the poison this time either. And Habib looks like he's going for the Shattered Psyche, which we saw a lot in London today. Metagross trapping Hariyama in a prison of its own mind, bouncing it around until it goes mad, is what I like to imagine happens. Yeah, well, I said that before the whole animation. That was my strategy to eat up time. But this is absolutely going to be a one-hit knockout onto the Hariyama. Yeah, there's no way that's going to survive with the Psychic Field up, and it's a Z move. That's going to be it for the Hariyama. And now at this point, Habib can just Flare Blitz, outspeed the Togedemaru, and pick up another 4-0 victory. So definitely an amiable effort on Brandon's part, but, you know, got to remember this is his first tournament. He is still very new to the game. Habib makes a nice little mistake, though, forgetting that Bullet Punch doesn't work in Psychic terrain. But the Flare Blitz comes out, is going to pick up the knockout on the Togedemaru, sealing up a very quick 2-0 victory for Habib. So that's going to do it here for the second round. We'll be back in a little while with round 3, the second to last round before we get into our top 4 top cut. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back soon.